Welcome once again to Synergy Bonus. I'm Vigorax. This is the Spoony Paladin, the one and only. We're a little behind as is becoming a usual thing, but we're going to take a minute to talk to you today about E3 happened this past week.
Yes, E3 happened this week. Unlike some other websites and whatnot, I figured it'd be best to actually kind of wait till everything was announced and, kind of run its course.
He's covering for the fact that we have day jobs and can't just sit around playing games all day.
It's true. And it is very, very hot here today. It's about 90 degrees.
With about 80% humidity.
Yeah, it's miserable here. So if you have air conditioning,
God bless you.
God bless you. We're cooling down with some beer.
Air conditioning, my very favorite sin.
We're actually drinking two different things tonight. I am drinking
What you got?
Boulevard Brewing Co.'s Telltale Tart. It's a slightly sour ale, and it's, I don't know where the ABV is on it. Oh, 6.2. Mm-hmm. And it's actually quite good. Unfortunately, mine's a little warm because it was on the shelf, and...
And you took it out of the fridge too
took it
fast
out
because you were...
Yeah, I was anxious. Okay, I was
anxious and
excited.
stressed.
I do like my sour beers though, so it's a very enjoyable beer.
Yeah.
And Trav's actually drinking something which the bottle looks cooler than this probably is. So
yeah, and for as well as you can see that, well, maybe we'll find some imagery later.
Yeah.
This is from Ballast Point Brewing Company. It's called Nitro or Red Velvet Nitro. It's an oatmeal stout. With hints of chocolate and beets, and the overall effect is to try to be red velvet cake. As you can see, this
the camera's not doing it justice right now, but it's
identical to his sour.
Actually hold it up. Yours is a little more orange.
It's freaking carrot juice.
Yeah. Ballast Point's got some good stuff, so I will try this eventually.
I mean, it's very smooth. It's very sweet. I don't know that they succeeded in duplicating like red velvet cake and all that, and I think most of the smooth is due to the fact that it's a nitro. It's drinkable, but I don't think it's anything I would go out of my way for a second time. It's not bad, but...
Would you drink it on a hot day today to quench your thirst?
Not to quench my thirst by any means. This is probably going to make me even more thirsty.
Yeah.
It's all
I mean, there are certain beers that you will drink on a day like this, and I don't think either of these are that. So, but I just had a craving for the sour. Anyways, to the bread and butter of the episode here, E3. I'm going to say right off the bat, usually I get really excited with E3, but this year, not so much. So there's like no hype leading into it.
Usually it's like Christmas for this.
It really is like Christmas. To be fair, though, the Nintendo announcement was, but we're going to get to that. I'm going to start with Microsoft here real quick.
Mostly because it's the shortest and we'll be done quickly.
It is the shortest and we're going to be done quickly. The only real announcement that they had was the Xbox One X.
It's like, hey, all you guys that just bought our brand new console,
here's an update. Well, to be fair, it's been out for a couple of years, and this is supporting 4K TVs. It says they can play original Xbox games.
Some.
So it'll be interesting to see. But I don't know how many... It's going to be Halo. I don't know how many people actually have 4K TVs that can really, benefit from this upgrade. I guess it does upscale too. Which, I mean, that's all well and good and cool. And what was the price tag? $500?
$499. They came out, they said... The Xbox One X, which if you look at the acronym, spells Xbox One.
Because
Xbox $499. End of presentation later.
Xbox One 2 just, doesn't.
Would that just be 12?
Yeah. But I can't really get behind it. I guess...
Xbox 1.0.1?
I mean, of the new console generation here, I don't have an Xbox. The last Xbox and the only Xbox I've had is the 360, which I really enjoyed the 360. But I guess if I'm gonna get one of the Xbox Ones, this would probably be the one I get, because eventually I do plan on getting a 4K TV, but that's neither here nor there. It's not a real big selling point for me. I don't have the system. But more importantly, most of the games I can play on Xbox, I can play on the PS4, which I have. So,
No. And it's just like, I can't get excited for, here's a console. Good. What can I do with it? Remember all of our old games? Well, I've already played those. What's your new content?
All right, and that's a big thing. Like that's my problem actually with this current console generation is there's a lot of HD remakes, HD remasters, a lot of stuff that we've already played before, and sometimes that's a good thing in case you missed out on it.
Everything is turning into Street Fighter 2.
Even Street Fighter 2. But I mean, Microsoft. I mean, they were the low on my radar here, anyways. Then we jump to Sony, and they showcased God of War, and I mean that's God of War. It looks pretty. Mm-hmm. I'm not a huge. I don't know. I've played the first one. I didn't bother with the other ones. I need to go back and play them because they are enjoyable games. I can't say they're not.
They're fun, but they feel time killery.
Yeah.
Like I'm not absorbed and involved in Kratos. I don't really care what happens to him one way or the other.
Yeah, I think that's another problem. I don't care about Kratos as a character, and I know some people are going to be like, that's sacrilege, but I don't. I actually like, when he's, I think it was God of War 3, I remember seeing the trailer for it when he rips Helios' head off. I'm like, I'm more interested in Helios, whose head just got ripped off, than Kratos. I mean... That's that. Then, of course, there's Destiny 2, and I can't get excited about that because Destiny 1 was a train wreck. I know there are some people in the community that are so hardcore into it, and if that's your thing, that's your thing. It's not my thing. I shouldn't have to go online to read the story.
Mm-hmm. Single-player mode should not be online.
I shouldn't have to get a new expansion / DLC every couple months because... that's how we're rolling with things, and I stopped after the game. I didn't even pick up any of the other expansions and whatnot. I was over it.
Well, House of Wolves was pretty good if you tried to ignore the fact that you were playing the same old maps backwards.
I guess though, what I'll say is I think I heard that Blizzard's working on some of this with them, and I've seen some of the classes and whatnot. It looks like they're trying to make them different from just I shoot a gun. But
still all first-person shooter.
Yeah, it's...
And hey, all you regular Destiny players who spent all of those hours grinding out gear and doing dungeons and raids and so on, those characters are worthless now.
But
start over, fresh beginning, level 1 for you.
But yeah, and actually though, Shadow of the Colossus, the HD version, that I'm excited about because I played the demo for Shadow of the Colossus. I never actually found it anywhere to buy. I mean, I could have bought it online or something like that, but...
He likes physical copies.
Well, no, it was a physical copy. I think it was PS2. Oh, God, Trav, it's hot in here and you did that.
Requisite.
Anyways, it was one of those games that was kind of hard to find in our area. And sometimes ordering those online, the price was a little bit more, and I didn't want to pay for that. I was a big fan of Ico. I don't know. Eco, whatever.
Eco's a dolphin.
No, that's Echo. But I love that game. This is the same one, and I really want to play Last Guardian because it's the same people that did it. It's all very pretty and whatnot. I like the demo, just never played the game, so this is my chance to get back to that. It's been through a console generator. We missed a console generator, so it's not an immediate re-release. So I'm okay with that because it did come out at the tail end of the PS2's life, and some people missed it. So I'm excited for that.
People missed it.
But I'm excited for that. I really am. Am I going to pre-order it? Probably not, but I will pick it up at some point.
But I mean, that's really all we have to get excited about from
Sony.
Unless you want to get excited about the fact that there was a big release, and this kind of crossed over to Nintendo, where he's heading next.
Actually, I'm not heading to Nintendo.
Not heading next. Well,
I'm going to head down to Ubisoft real quick.
Go to Ubisoft. I'll get back to mine.
If you like Assassin's Creed, they have a new Assassin's Creed coming out. It looks cool. It looks like Assassin's Creed. It's the setting.
It's in Egypt this time.
I mean, okay, I have a hard time with annual release games. There's nothing to get excited about with them. But, I mean...
I don't know, for the first, 4 games, the story was pretty good.
Right, but after a while, it became
you get to the pirate game, and it's all of the, the sea shanties were really fun.
Oh, that's right. There is I don't remember which company it was, because it just kind of shot in my mind. There is a game coming out that is basically the all naval combat from Assassin's Creed as its own game. It's not Assassin's
the worst part of that game.
And I agree, it was the worst part of the game. Just it was clunky. Maybe they refined it, whatever. But
it was intentionally clunky. You got the waves and all that, making it hard to aim. And it was like if it was like a team effort, so you had one guy steering and like another guy manning a cannon and another guy doing repairs or something.
You know, it was a fun game with pirates. Pirates. It was good. It was a good game. Go play it. It's on Steam.
You know, it was a really fun game with pirates. Monkey Island. You'll never find it because LucasArts got bought by Disney and they buried it because it's basically, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. With this Assassin's Creed, I discovered that there's like 5 different collector's versions or just versions in general. And the top one doesn't even have everything from the other one, but it costs around $800. So if you're a hardcore collector, it's going to hurt your pocketbook. And then there was the announcement of Beyond Good and Evil 2. It's happening. It's happening. Don't know when, but it's happening. I'm excited for that. I loved it on the GameCube. So...
Okay, I'm not familiar. Fill me in some here. Let's talk about this.
It's been so long since I've played Beyond Good and Evil, but it was...
Apparently made enough of an impression that he's excited about it, even though he doesn't remember it.
Okay. I couldn't remember Undertale earlier when I was trying to tell him about Undertale, and... It's hot. I can't. But like, it's a good game. I'll show it to you later.
All right, fine.
But Nintendo in my book it had everything I was looking for, everything I wanted. Normally, like with E3, each company's got something I'm super excited for. Not this time around until Nintendo. And then I looked at like all the trailers, everything that they showed. I'm like, my pocketbook hurts, and I'm going to GameStop, and I did.
Couldn't even wait, just went straight.
Pretty much. 2 little minor things for this, and actually Trav can touch on this. Rocket League is coming to the Switch, which is cool. It's on everything now, and it's cross-platform, so people can play. That's more things.
Unless...
No, hold on.
Okay.
Rocket League is cross-platform with everything.
Everything?
Everything.
Okay.
The one that's not is Minecraft.
Minecraft is going.
And this is what he was going to touch on here.
PS4, PlayStation in general, Sony backed out of the cross-play Minecraft thing, citing its concerns that Microsoft might not be able to protect the children playing the game from adult content. It's Minecraft.
If you're going to make penis waterfalls, they're going to be there regardless.
I hadn't even gone there. I just figured like using dirt to spell out swear words or something.
I went right to the penis waterfall. Do a switch and...
But I mean... It's Minecraft.
It is Minecraft.
And, like... You're going to take a look at Microsoft, the guys that have had Minecraft and been in charge of it for several years at this point, and say, we don't think that you're doing a good enough job protecting our most vulnerable customers and consumers from objectionable content. We're just going to blow it off, and anybody who wants to play Minecraft on the PS4 can just suck it. I mean,
well, here's
what kind of a business strategy is that?
I really don't know. But I think more games should be cross-play.
I thought PlayStation 4 also had a whole bunch of... Well, Sony also had a whole bunch of issues with getting cross-play for Rocket League. Like they were the last ones to jump on.
And maybe that was the case, but more things need cross-play because...
I just don't have a lot of love for Sony these days.
More things need cross-play because, these consoles cost a lot of money, and, I bought a PS4. Oh, he bought an Xbox One. We have the same games, we can't play together. I mean, the technology's there, and people are doing it, so more games need that. Like, particularly, I've been playing a lot of Overwatch lately. I love Overwatch. It doesn't cross-play with the computer. And I was talking to one of my subordinates at work. He plays Overwatch, and he said he was thinking about getting on the computer, but the sad thing is he sunk actual money into the game with the loot boxes for the skins and everything, and he would lose those for the computer. And I actually tied my Battle.net account to it, and I don't think I'd even get my skins for it, too. And I'm very happy playing with it on the console. I'm good with either or, but that was my choice, but I can't play with the PC people. It does suck.
Glorious PC Gaming Master Race.
PC is good for some stuff, but...
Porn. PC is good for porn. If you're going to game, get a console.
Okay. Anyways. And Nintendo, in my opinion, did really, really well. They could have showcased more gameplay in the trailers. I know they had their treehouse and they did that, which was cool and whatnot.
What more do you want? Just a big screen that says Metroid Prime 4.
I'm
sold.
And you know what? And people were sold on that. I'm sold at that. I can't pre-order it right now. And
the other games in this series were good enough that just flashing the title sold the game.
I can't pre-order it
That's
right now.
marketing. I don't need to see like the endless information about Assassin's Creed in the desert.
Right.
You know.
But I can't pre-order Metroid Prime 4 yet, and that kind of makes me sad. But I'll tell you what I can pre-order. Metroid Prime Just Metroid Samus Returns. Which is nice because it's a
remastering of Super Metroid, isn't it?
No, Metroid 2, the Game Boy one. It's 2D, 3D. I mean, the models and everything are 3D, which, I mean, that puts me off.
Bionic Commando Rearmed?
Kind of, yes. That's exactly a good way to put it. But, I mean, it looks very pretty. It looks very polished. It looks fun. I can't wait to actually beat this game, because that game is hard. I have it on my 3DS, and I can't remap the controls on the 3DS, so I struggle a little bit. So it'll be nice to actually play it on the 3DS remastered.
Well, that, and they're supposedly, as part of the remastering, they're putting in a lot of the Metroid-y stuff that has become commonplace to the series, like the mapping and so on, to help you navigate. Instead of having to remember the entire stinking map like in the old days.
I used graph paper, which was fun. It's a little tedious, but it is kind of fun to do it that way. We're getting a core Pokemon game for the Switch, which is cool.
At long last. It's only been, what, did they just have their 20th or 25th anniversary?
Oh, I don't... When did it come out? 96?
Yeah,
96.
20th.
Yeah. So
20 years before we finally got a serious console Pokemon.
So,
XD Gale of Darkness does not count.
And the thing is, they said core, so
Pokemon Snap.
that means it is going to be along the lines of red and blue, gold and silver, platinum.
Pick a color combination.
Black and white. Oh, not black. No. Black and white too is a pox on the series.
That's a conversation.
Sun and
for
Moon,
another day.
and Sun and Moon's getting a sequel too.
That was pre-E3 though. So
if you care, it's Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, but whatever. They showcased a lot of more Mario, and it looks Mario-like. It looks fun. I can't wait to play it. I'm happy. I didn't get a chance to pre-order that, and I need to. This is a mental note now here. Xenoblade 2. They showcased a lot more of that, and that looks fantastic. I loved.
Not to be confused with Xenoblade Chronicles.
I don't know if it's called Xenoblade Chronicles 2 or Xenoblade 2, but it's staying away from how X was, where X was basically a lot of world exploring and whatnot. This looks like it has a lot more story-driven and whatnot. This chick character with big boobs, because that's what the internet focused on, is your Monado or whatever in this game, whatever the sword is. She is
Master
your sword.
of the Monado, yes.
She is your sword, and it looks cool. The environments look cool. The Nopon are back.
The important question. Is it rain time?
It's Ryan time, all the time. Which makes me a little sad that Ryan wasn't in Smash Bros., but they had to throw its Shulk time in there because...
Yeah.
I mean, just because. I mean, I would have been happy with Dunman, but I can gush on another episode.
There you go. I'm all about Ricky, but yeah.
I like Ricky. I would have been happy with any of those characters.
Hero Pond time.
Mario Rabbids looks fun, honestly. Like, I knew nothing about this game. I saw like a little mini trailer for it. I'm like, yeah, I'll play it. It's not going to be a day one pre-order, but it looked fun to me.
Looked like a tactical turn-based RPG with Mario and the Rabbids?
Yes. The best way to describe it is like Shadowrun Returns and XCOM, the new ones that are around. Like, it looks neat. So, I'm going to give it to him. You know, and we're going to get Mario in the Assassin's Creed universe, I'm sure, sometime. And, you know, Bethesda, God bless them. I mean, they...
you forgot the best part. Super Skyrim 2 Turbo Edition.
That's what I was getting to. Skyrim has been at E3 so many times with the HD version and the
HD remake special edition
Switch version. Skyrim is becoming, like he said,
it's becoming Street Fighter.
It's becoming Street Fighter 2. And I gotta tell you, I love some of the memes that have stemmed up from this because it's like, oh, here it is. It's gonna be Skyrim for Android and iOS. Oh, Skyrim for the microwave. Oh, Skyrim for the Rock.
Skyrim for the Virtual Boy.
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh, They're going to do that. Not for the
No!
Virtual Boy, but they're going to do it for, I think, for like one of the VR
Okay.
things and whatnot. And they're
It's a
doing
first-person game,
and they're
right?
doing that with Fallout 4 and Doom and
You know what's going to make me really impressed if we're going to do Skyrim on like one of the 3D things there? Is if you figure in some sort of a multiplayer mode where I can zoom into your universe and actually see your avatar when I look at you.
that would be kind of cool.
So they're not going to do it.
And then there was just, there was a Yoshi game announced and a Kirby game announced, and they look fun. They're just called Yoshi and Kirby right now. I'm sure they're going to have a
No working title or anything.
title later on, but they're going to be fun. And this is important too. Fire Emblem Warriors. I got to see a few more of the characters and whatnot, and there's a wonderful, wonderful little meme that I saw today. It's like Crom, and he's like, "Move out of the way, main character! It is my time to shine," because he got hosed in Smash Bros. And they even poked fun at that in the trailer for Lucina.
I had enough of Crom in Awakening. Like for all the popularity he gets, he's a broken, overpowered Lord character who was kind of boring. I'm over Crom. I want to move on.
To be fair, I used Crom just a little bit in Fire Emblem Heroes for the mobile phone, just to give him that little time in the sun, and then I promptly replaced him with Silica when I got her.
So many other more interesting characters in the
It's
series.
true.
It's all Crom.
It's true. So all in all, I don't think it was a very eventful E3. I mean, there was some neat stuff announced, but yeah, Trav.
There was something, another kind of disappointment for me. Back in January, Onyx Path Publishing announced that they were partnering with Cyanide Studios, the people that did Styx, Master of Shadows, and Blood Bowl, and For Home Interactive. They do all the horror games and so on, like Vampires are other big ones coming out. They're the ones working on the Call of Cthulhu game.
Which I'm kind of excited for the Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah. But they announced that they would be working on a brand new video game adaptation of Werewolf the Apocalypse, one of the old pencil and paper tabletop games from the same line as Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, which I'm sure if you've got Steam, you've dabbled in at some point in time or another.
And you've gotten the patch because it's otherwise unplayable.
Yeah. Or as a continuation of the grand theme of Vampire the Masquerade Redemption, which most people have not found because it was an older thing. They're telling it's not just like a reimagining of 1999's Vampire or Werewolf the Apocalypse, Heart of Gaia that never happened. It's supposed to be its own thing. It's an action RPG, and they kept saying more information to be available at E3. E3 came. E3 went. There were some interviews with some of the lead developers who basically were trying to explain to people who weren't familiar with the game what werewolves are within the world of darkness, and the best they could come up with was furry eco-terrorists. It's like, no, it's more like Game of Thrones with shapeshifters. Seriously look into it. This should be a big deal. This is going to be the first White Wolf game we've had since
Bloodlines.
Bloodlines in 2004.
After Bloodlines, they were talking about doing a World of Darkness online.
MMO.
I was super excited for because it was going to encompass mortals. Vampires. Actually, vampires were going to be the first, but they were also going to have the werewolves, the mages, hunters, and Prometheans, I believe. I don't know if they were
Prometheans in Classic.
But it wasn't Classic. It was just called World of Darkness. And this is right around the time when New World was kind of in full swing.
It was also, for better or for worse, right around the time that the big content-based MMO boom or bubble burst. We saw Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic go down the tubes pretty hurry. The Warhammer Online just tanked horribly. The granddaddy of it all, World of Warcraft, sort of suffered a misstep with Warlords of Draenor.
Yeah. Warlords was rough.
Warlords of Garrisons. So the timing was off, and that's right about the time they had all of those licensing issues because the people over at White Wolf decided they didn't want to put out new content anymore. They just wanted to be curators of the old content. Yeah. So this was going to be a big thing because I was a fan in the 90s and early 2000s of the 2 vampire games and the 3 Hunter the Reckoning video games. Not to mention all of the tabletop stuff, as is evidenced by the shelf behind my head. This is something that we're all into and that we really enjoy and that we really like. And so this was kind of big. And then E3 came, E3 went, and we don't know anything more about this except that they're potentially looking at a 2018 release date. Here's some concept art that really looks like artwork that was lifted directly from Werewolf the Forsaken and just colorized. And, you know, it's probably most likely, but not necessarily set in stone, going to be for PC, Xbox One, and PS4. This is what we know, and I feel very let down.
Yeah. And, you know, E3 is like Trav mentioned earlier, it's Christmas, basically, for the gaming industry and gamers especially, but, like, I don't know if it's just because I've gotten older and whatnot, just there was a lot of stuff I just didn't care about. But that's not to say that people don't care about it. But
I don't think getting older has anything to do with it. I think it was very lackluster.
Yeah,
I think of games. Here's a couple of new systems when you just shelled out $500 for a new season or system a couple of years ago.
But yeah, a lot of people I've talked to within this week just really were kind of let down by E3 this year. And, you know, I'm going to toss that to you guys now. What were your thoughts on E3? What announcements did you like? What did you hate? What were you missing from E3? What did you expect? And that's another thing too. Sometimes we get our hopes up with E3, like they're going to announce this game at E3, and then when they don't announce this game, you get kind of depressed about it. And like if they do announce this game, it's like, well, they didn't have anything. You know, this. I knew this was coming. We all knew this was coming. Why can't they be more creative? I think we just kind of let ourselves down. Either way, we're disappointed either way. Like, I'm not saying that everyone is, but like, it's that build up, you know.
There have been some E3s in the past where I've been really excited and gung-ho. This was not one of them.
No, it wasn't. Before we go here, in the future, I kind of want to have us do some giveaways. I'm a big fan of pop figures, and you know, I think we're going to give away some of those here in the future.
He's a big fan. I don't get it.
They're like crack. The first one's free, and then
they're like those old troll dolls from the 80s. They're kind of ugly, so to the point that they're kind of cute, and they're way too expensive.
I mean, I've got the Hunter right here, and then I've got the Golden Vault Dweller there. I've got some actually behind Trav over here, and even beyond the camera and whatnot, I've got just a display case full of them. Actually, Trav, why don't you grab the ones right here? So, like, you know, like give away something like this. You know, just whatever. Like, we've got Gears of War, we've got Titanfall. But we're going to do that here in the future. Just, you know, if people are interested in this, let us know in the comments. So
pay some attention while we figure out how we're going to do this.
Yes. And
announcements to come in the future.
Announcements to come in the future. Eventually maybe t-shirts and stuff. It's just something I've been tossing around. And if people are generally interested, let us know. But other than that, you know, I hope you guys had a good E3, whether you enjoyed it or not.
Whether you enjoyed it or not, whether you got to go or you just had to sit and watch it online like we did.
Yep.
Yeah.
But with that, we'll see you next time.
Good night and good gaming.